Alright guys, so right now what I'm doing is I'm actually working on a lamp that I'm making to replace an old Walmart lamp that I bought. Kids broke it. So my thing is I'm not going to buy a new lamp, I'm just going to make a new one that will be sturdy enough that the kids hopefully can't break. Of course, we've all said that before, but here we are. So my idea is pretty simple. About an 8-foot long 4x4. I'm going to cut it into sections where I started here. Drill it about, I guess, 1.25 inch holes with a little drill bit that I got here. And then eventually I'm going to stack these up and we'll have them on kind of a tilt like that. One of the things that I've noticed, though, that I thought I might share with some people is when you're working on stuff like this, number one thing that happens with me a lot, when I cut these with my miter saw, you end up with a lot of really jagged edges. And so what I'm doing right now, before I'm continuing on to drill the rest of my holes, I'm going to get rid of these jagged edges. I started out just holding it in my hand with my chisel. Of course, it's got to be sharp, as I always do. And going on the edge here, and just going along it, and pine's not that, it's pine, so it's not that hard, and just going on like that. Two things I noticed. One, the ones that aren't that bad, I put them in my vise, and I kind of go along, and I take that off, and I kind of carve it down to where it's level. I did have noticed, though, what really works really good for some of the bigger ones, and it's been a little bit quicker for me, is when you've got it in your vise, you want to come along here, and I'll show you this. I can't really turn around right now, but on that edge, you'll see right there, it's pretty torn up. And what you don't want to do is just go straight with the planer. You can go along the grain, that works. On a couple of them I've been doing that, but what I found really works really good is with the chisel and with the hand vise, is you get it right on the edge of your board. You can see right there, it's not very good. If I do post this, I'll have more in the future. They'll be set up better so we can see what's going on. But you're going to want to go on the corner of that piece of board with your iron just on the edge. And what I find works really good for me is as I'm pushing forward, I also go diagonally. And what that does is it actually makes the iron slice through the fibers of the board versus just plowing through it, because all these are loose, and on the edge there on the outside it's drier, so it's coming apart. And it's already been traumatized by the saw anyways, so it's loose. You go to just plow through that, you're just going to rip up more. You're not going to fix it. You're just going to rip it up more. You keep going. You're going to keep getting frustrated. And I found this out pretty fast. I mean, I've been working with chisels and with my hand planer for like the last 6 or 7 months, and it's been taking me a while to figure out. What you want to do is you want to go to the side and go diagonally. And you can do that. If it's not that bad, you can do that. Otherwise, what you'll do is you will get up on it, and you will just plane down past wherever you want to set tear out is. And you want it to go evenly across, because if you don't, you're going to kind of change the shape of your wood. And especially with this pine, 4x4 pine, it's pretty easy to do that. And I'll show you guys real quick what it looks like now. I think you can see that. And I'll finish this up real quick and show you guys what it looks like in just a couple of minutes here. It doesn't take too long. By the way, if you're not using the hand planer, I know for me, myself, for one, it actually took me a good bit to get used to not only how to sharpen it, but how to use it. But the main thing is getting it sharp and knowing how sharp it actually has to be, and learning how to maintain that sharpness because it's true what they say. You take care of your tools, they'll take care of you. But with a hand planer, since I've never used one before, it really was a challenge because I just didn't know how to. I didn't know how sharp was. I've never really gotten into sharpening tools or sharpening knives before. And so it was quite a journey for me. But once I figured it out, it got to be a lot easier. I'm just checking here to make sure. I don't think, no, it's not too bad. But what I'm doing, no, that's pretty close though. And I'll probably come along with the chisel in just a moment. But as you can see, there's a lot more smooth. And then I'm going to do this, a little bit of this over here. Try to hold this so you guys can see at the same time. It's kind of hard to hold this and do at the same time. I'm going to do bevel down so I don't get too deep. But just as you go along, you go diagonally like that, or you can even go diagonally out. And that will, really should, in theory, get rid of even more of that. So now you can see that it's even smoother. And of course, use sandy ends and sand the sides. When I'm all done doing this, my next stage is going to be to carve some carvings. I think I'm going to put them, and then sand them. And once I sand them, any little imperfections with that I've made with my chisels or with my scratches that I've done with my planer will get removed and that'll be fixed. So yeah, like I said, it's like you gotta remember sometimes it's okay to go in, you know, straight with a chisel when you're actually carving out like something, you're actually carving like a symbol, or you're making like a picture, you're carving an animal or something, whatever, that's fine. But whenever you're actually just trying to smooth and shape the wood and get it to look nice, you want to go forward and sideways, kind of like you're cutting through a tomato or a vegetable. You want to cut sideways. That'll help you slice through those fibers and be a lot nicer cut. You won't rip it through. Harder woods, I'm sure it's a little bit easier to keep from doing that. Pine, poplar, I found so far the two woods I've been using most of the time because they're so much cheaper. They have a lot of problem with the fibers not being because it's a soft wood, so the fibers aren't just tight together, so it's easy to rip those fibers apart and really gnarl up your piece of wood. So I'm sure harder woods, it's probably easier to do without having that, but I'm sure even with harder woods, especially if it's really hardwood, if you're trying to take out, I'm sure, I'm only assuming because I don't know, but I'm sure if you take bigger or thicker shavings of like hardwood, I can imagine it might, in some instances, be a lot easier to do that slicing diagonal motion versus head on, just to prevent tear out and prevent those little hairs standing up. So, but anyways, that's all I have for today. I know it's a weird random video. I just thought I'm working on this. I built a table, which I might put some pictures up of on Reddit or something later. And I thought, hell, I'm starting this journey myself. I've had some people that help me, that have helped me, neighbors, a guy at work that lives near me. He's a general contractor for about 40 years. So he's done a little bit of stuff like that, quite a bit of stuff like this too. I figured I'd share it with the world and share what I know. Later guys, bye.